Welcome to the Shikaserbu Motor Channel. This channel provides easy-to-understand explanations of car mechanisms. In recent years, record-breaking heavy rains have caused large-scale floods in virtually every region of the world. What kind of damage does a car suffer when it is submerged in water? And what should we do to protect cars from flooding? While your car was parked, a heavy rainstorm occurred. Water is flooding into the parking lot. When the water level reaches the exhaust pipe outlet, it flows into the exhaust pipe. However, since the engine is off, this can be ignored. When the water level reaches the bottom edge of the door, flooding inside the car begins. Door seals are designed to seal against rainfall and brief splashes of water, but they are not effective at sealing against pressurized water. After the rain stops, the overflowed water will eventually be drained. Water that has entered the exhaust pipe will naturally evaporate, and the water accumulated on the floor can be cleaned up using a pump or towels. At first glance, it may seem like the problem is solved. However, there are actually two problems. The first problem will surface immediately: the smell. A terrible smell. The water that flowed into your car is not clean water. It's mixed with wastewater and mud, containing millions of bacteria and microorganisms. Within a few days, they will multiply and produce a terrible smell. It will come from everywhere: the floor carpet, soundproofing materials, floor mats, seats, and even the air conditioning unit. Probably, no matter how much you clean, the smell won't completely go away. You'll have to replace the parts with new ones. It will require expensive repair costs. The other problem that comes later is even more serious. The control units and wire harness connectors inside the vehicle cabin are not waterproof. After several months, rust will develop on the connector terminals and inside the control units, leading to one, multiple, or numerous failures. It could be the engine, the transmission, the air conditioning, or the power windows. No one knows. You have to repair them each time a failure occurs. Or, you can replace all the wire harnesses and control units that were exposed to water. The same applies to systems, like the suspension and brakes as well. The dust boots on those components are ineffective against pressurized water, allowing water to enter. If you leave it unattended, rust will form, leading to abnormal noises and malfunction. We can't even begin to imagine how much the repair costs will be. What can we do to prevent this? Should we evacuate the car to higher ground? This should be avoided. There is a flood happening. You should not prioritize the safety of the car over your own safety. We can find huge waterproof bags for flood protection on online shopping sites. This is one option, but I don't know how effective it is. By the way, this video is not sponsored by any plastic bag company. What should we do when passing through a flooded road? It is important to be cautious when the water level is higher than the exhaust pipe outlet. If you pass slowly through a flooded area, water can flow into the exhaust pipe, obstructing the engine's exhaust and causing the engine to stop. If the engine speed is increased to a certain extent to raise the exhaust pressure and prevent water from entering the exhaust pipe, this problem can likely be avoided. However, please exercise caution when driving. To increase the engine speed at low vehicle speeds, in cars with automatic transmission, you must press the brake pedal while also pressing the accelerator pedal. Even if the engine stops, it won't cause significant damage as long as the water is shallow. The engine can be started once the water in the exhaust pipe is gone. What would happen in the case of deeper water? When the water pushed up by the front of the car reaches the height of the engine air intake, it leads to disastrous consequences. As you know, the engine draws in air, compresses it and burns gasoline. Air can be compressed, but water cannot. If water enters the combustion chamber, the piston cannot rise beyond a certain point. However, the crankshaft continues to rotate. As a result, the connecting rod is bent. In the worst-case scenario, the connecting rod can snap and break through the cylinder block. The crankshaft, subjected to excessive pressure, may also be damaged. Furthermore, because the valves are pushed into a combustion chamber filled with water, the valves are also bent. There is no option left but to replace the engine. The repair costs may exceed the value of the car. What should we do to prevent this? If it's a familiar road, we might be able to estimate the water depth in the flooded areas and avoid them. However, if it's a road we are traveling for the first time and it's nighttime, there is no way to estimate the water depth. That being the case, I can only think of two methods. Stay home on days of heavy rain. If that's not possible. Insurance? By the way, this video is not sponsored by any insurance company. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. We'll see you in the next video.